Join me in welcoming Charles McLimans to the podium.
Thank you, guys. It's great to be with you this afternoon, and congratulations to the Student Senate for doing something important on World Food Day. You all knew that it was World Food Day, right? Yes, okay. Yes, Stephen said, I'm the CEO at the River Food Pantry. How many of you have been to the River Food Pantry or know about our work? Okay, a few people. I can tell you that I was here for a meeting yesterday with Steve and some other members of the Student Senate, talking about how we can get more food to students in need, either how we can get them over to the River Food Pantry. That's the best way that we can serve people, if you come and see what we do, or if we could maybe do something here on campus. But just as I was leaving the meeting, walking through here, just very briefly, I ran into 4 people that I knew who use our services at the River Food Pantry. And those are just ones I recognize. So the instance of food insecurity, especially in the student population, is very high. It's about 1 in 4. I know that the Student Senate did a survey last year, and I believe it was 1 in 3 on this campus. So just think about that, looking around, and people that you're sitting next to or people that you're seeing walk by, they don't know how they're going to get 3 meals today. And so that's what this is all about today. I congratulate you for raising awareness. People can stop in, they can get some food, they can understand what other services are available in the community. But I'll just today talk to you a little bit about what we do at the River Food Pantry. So we like to say we're much more than a food pantry, and we are. We are all about building community, and we use food and clothing as a tool to build community. When you come to the river, you're going to be greeted, and we have everybody there. We like to say we level the playing field. We don't like to have us versus them. We like all of us together, and so that's what we do through our mission. But when you come, if you need to use our services as a shopper, you can shop for groceries on a weekly basis. You can also get clothing on a weekly basis. We have 5 community meals, 5 public sessions each week where you can come in and get a hot meal. And so recently, we actually went and shopped. So we took a typical family of 4, and what a typical family of 4 would get on a weekly basis, and we shopped it out at a retail level. And do you know what it came to? They could save over $200 on a weekly basis, right? So how many of you go and shop for groceries on a weekly basis? Do you have an idea of what you spend, right?
Yes.
But if you're just a single person, but imagine, okay, you got a mom and dad and 2 kids, right? Or a single mom with 3 kids. And so over $200. So imagine the effect that if you're putting $200, $300, $400, $500, $600 back into the pocket of a low-income family, what that does for that household. It creates household stability. So that's what we like to talk about. We talk about we build community, but we also provide household stability through the quantity and the quality of the product that we provide to people. So if we're providing household stability, we also provide community stability. So the river has been around for 12 years. We're located very close by here on Darwin Road. So we're if you take Anderson Street and take a right on International Lane, the next left is Darwin Road. So we're very close by. You guys could even walk it. But we have a lot of people who come here from Madison College. We have who both volunteer and receive services from us, like I was saying. Stephen is a prime example of that. I know he has generously shared his story and his own struggle with food insecurity, and that's why it's very important to him and to other students that we strive for food security, and that's what today is all about. So we have many volunteer opportunities. Like I said, our shoppers are volunteers as well. I like to point out the fact, again, that the whole sense of the community coming together and building community together. When I'm giving a tour at the river, I say, the person that you are standing next to and serving next to, they may be a major donor who gives us over $1,000 a month. We need that to fund. We're a privately funded organization. They could be a corporate volunteer who's there for just one day. They could be somebody who is shopping as well, receiving our services. Or they could be a person who, when they go home tonight, they're going to sleep at the Dane County Jail. And you would never know the difference because we treat everybody the same and we welcome everybody the same. And that's really important for us. I mentioned we work with Huber volunteers who are serving jail time for lower level offenses, often most of them drug and alcohol offenses. But we pick up, we have a van that stops at the men's jail and the women's jail on a daily basis, and they provide a tremendous support for us in volunteering and helping us with our work. And we give them breakfast, lunch, and dinner every day. So we're helping to restore, we often connect them with jobs when they get out and helping to restore dignity. So that's an important part of our mission as well. And so for those of you who may not live here on the north side, there are a network of other pantries. We have, you can find out, see our friends from Second Harvest are here. Catholic Multicultural Center has a food pantry, multiple services. St. Vincent de Paul on Park Street, close to your other campus. And so there is a network of other pantries that serve our community. So don't be afraid to reach out to us or to 211, or if you know, are you familiar with 211, that service? If you call 211, you can get information on essential services. So whether somebody is struggling with housing, food, whatever, they have a list. It's run through United Way. And so they can help get connected with services as well. So be sure to get that word out and tell people. So, can you imagine that over 40% of the people that we serve are children, 18 and under? So that's, a lot of families with children need to come and use our services. We serve, we are USDA food pantry, meaning we are passed through for USDA commodities. That's only about 5% of our overall product mix. We source our food through a variety of sources. We work with CAC, who's here today, Community Action Coalition. They distribute the commodities. We work with Second Harvest in sourcing food through them. We are their largest partner in their service area. And we also source food through other means, through food recovery. So we try to be very, if food is usable and recoverable, we do that. We work with Healthy Food for All to recover prepared foods that we're able to serve, and we give that out to people. We also work with groups like University of Wisconsin, their food service, and the Madison Mallards. So during baseball season with the Mallards, we get a lot of hot dogs and brats and hamburgers, and so we try to really be a very sustainable organization in our food practices, and that we do not want good food going into landfills, right? Not when we have so many people that we feed. So through our combined, we also have a mobile lunch program for kids when they're out of school. It's called Munch, and that stands for Madison Unites to Nourish Children at Home. And so that goes out into 8 low-income neighborhoods on the north side on all non-school days. So operating now on weekends, but during the summertime, or when school is not in session, it operates every day. So 7 days a week during the summertime. And that is serving between 400 to 500 lunches to kids when they're out of school every day that it's operating. So that's another way that we're really going out and looking at gaps in where people may need food. The kids who receive this program are getting those breakfasts and lunches at their schools when school's in session. So we want to make sure that they're also able to get them when school is not in session. It's really important for learning. How many of you have ever gotten hangry? You know what hangry is? Right? It's when you're hungry, then you get angry, and you can't concentrate. You're thinking about, I've just got that test coming up, and I can't concentrate. What am I going to do? You need to get something to eat, right? Because that is the food that fuels our bodies, but it also fuels our minds. So when kids, especially in the first 5 years of their life, in early childhood development, if they are not being nourished properly, those neurotransmitters in the brain do not connect properly. And you can already see that by the time kids get to third grade reading scores. And you can see a whole host of other problems that develop because of that. Does anybody want to guess what the average reading level of the incarcerated population in the state of Wisconsin is? Between third and fourth grade. That's correct. So people stop learning in school. They can learn bad habits, right? We want them to. We want to help create a level playing field. No, so that's why ending child food insecurity, making sure that children and families are nourished. There's been a lot of information, a lot of scientific data that we have that tells us that that is the easiest way to prevent some social ills that may occur later in life if somebody stops learning in school. So to keep that in mind too. So household stability, we provide food, we provide household stability, we use food and clothing as a tool to build community. That's what the River Food Pantry is about. So I invite all of you to come and check it out. We could use your volunteer support. We always are in need of volunteers. So Stephen is there. He helps on Friday night. We give rides home within about a 3 to 4 mile radius on Fridays. Stephen's often our driver for the van. So if you do get there on the bus, he can help get you home on a Friday night. I'd be happy to take some questions if people have questions. No? No questions? Yes? How long have I been working there? So I as Stephen mentioned in the introduction, I started there in April of 2017. And I took over from the founders who, Andy and Jenny Zerkis. Andy, some of you may have had as an instructor here. Used to be an instructor here at Madison College. So many people from Madison College know him. Yes, sir.
Hi, so I know you mentioned recovering food from like events that are done, but what about from grocery stores, right? Like, where the difference between a Best Buy date versus expiration date? Like, I know
exactly
those cans, they say Best Buy May, but I'm pretty sure in June of 2020 they'll still be fine.
We do, and so we work. We do not want to throw any of that away. So we work with a large variety of grocery stores, in doing that food recovery along with Second Harvest and CAC, and so a lot of that comes directly to us. We also work with extended dates on product as well. So just about any canned good has an extended date, a sell-by date. So there are guidelines that we go by, and if we don't know. Even on cereal, if you look at the box of cereal, if you call the manufacturer, they'll say, well, they just guaranteed, most cereal is guaranteed 6 months or more beyond the sell-by date. You can call the manufacturer, you can go online, you can check it out. It's perfectly good food. What happens the only thing with canned food that you really have to be careful of is with a tomato-based product because of the acidity of the tomatoes. But most other canned food, it's just at that peak, like a can of beans can sit on a shelf and you can still get the nutritional value. If it goes beyond that date, starts to decrease, but it does so slowly over a period of time. So, and we also do the smell and the taste test, like you do if you got milk at home, and you see if it's still good, and it's oftentimes product. There's a lot of waste. Over 40% of the food that is produced in our nation goes to waste, into a landfill. So we're trying to make a difference and change that equation. So good question. You can go online to register to volunteer. Our website has a lot of information on volunteering. That's riverfoodpantry.org. So that's a great place to discover that. So. Or you can email Stephen. He can tell you. He's a vast resource for you. Yes. Okay. Oh, thank you. So if you go on our website as well, you can see on the landing page, we just released a strategic plan called, it's our vision statement, a fully nourished community. And so we've outgrown our space. You have this beautiful space here that was constructed for students, but Madison, once a day, Madison College needs more space. You're building a new location on Park Street. We are, as I mentioned, we are the busiest, the highest volume food pantry in South Central Wisconsin. We, through our combined programs, we serve over 1,000 households each week, and we distribute between 65 to 75,000 pounds of product each week. What does that look like? That's about 2 of the largest 53-foot semi-trailers fully loaded. That's how much. So we have a plan. We need to find a new facility. We hope to be in a new facility by 2020. And then we also want to have collaborative programming that really strategically promotes household stability. So partnering with other services. So we think about household stability. I think about it as a wheel with 4 sections. The 4 sections of that are food, housing, health, and work/life. So if one of those sections falls out, you've got a clunky wheel. If 2 of those sections fall out, the wheel is completely flat, and that's what, just like a wheel, that's what a household is like. So, yeah, food, housing, work, life, and health. And so we want to be that partner because we serve so many people and we touch so many lives on a weekly basis. We want to have a space for collaborative programming, bringing in other partners while we continue to stretch ourselves in our core competency, which is food, but bringing in other partners for programs in those areas. So we're having those conversations. We're beginning to create those strategic partnerships that we will eventually bring on site in our new space to make it convenient. We don't want to be able to say, right now it's often, we help serve so many people, but it's like, well, you need this essential service. Well, here's a brochure, drive all the way across the other side of town. God bless you, go on your way. We want to have both what I call a serve and a solve capacity. So that solve capacity, we'll continue to serve, making sure that anybody who needs our services gets the services. But the solve capacity is working with partners and strategically promoting household stability to those individuals. As I mentioned, we already do household stability through the quantity and the quality of the product, the frequency that we serve, putting money back into people's pockets. That provides household stability, but we want to do that with other essential programs as well and do that on site. So that's the next big thing for us. Thanks for asking. You can go online and read our strategic plan. It was just rolled out publicly about a month ago, and we've been promoting that on a couple of news articles on that. Yes?
What might be other options if you don't volunteer, like if they're busy working, school? Not like ideas, other things we could.
Other ideas that you can do?
Yes.
You could do a campus-wide food drive, right? That would be pretty cool, especially food for the holidays. For those who have the ability to do it, we have we just kicked off yesterday our Hope holiday food drive. Hope stands for Help Other People Eat, and so for $30, people can provide a complete holiday meal, including a turkey for Christmas, or we're doing a combination of turkeys and hams for Christmas and the December holidays. So you could participate in that as well. So there's our website has a wealth of information. We have my teammates Becca over there, who I think is Facebook Living this for us, and John are on our team. They can answer any questions as well, and Stephen, of course. Yes, sir.
Do you foresee any participatory avenues for aquaculture, agriculture, where people can create models, more sustainable models for feeding themselves?
Yes, I love that, and I would love to have space. There's a lot of interesting work that's being done in that, in sustainable agriculture, urban agriculture. I have a friend up in Appleton who has developed an indoor growing system that is very, very unique. That in a machine that stands about this high and is about this wide, you can grow crops of lettuce in about 2 weeks, and other leafy greens. So there is, there's a lot of very innovative work. We need to be able to, in order to feed the world, we have to innovate. There's not enough land that is available to feed the world. There's not, even in the United States, I mean, it's going to become a problem. We happen to live, in the breadbasket of the United States. And you think about that. You think in Madison, Wisconsin, where we have a extreme, wonderful food resources. Wisconsin has the highest density population of organic farms, but still, in our service area in Dane County, you have 1 in 5 households that are food insecure. So why is that? So it's not a resource problem, it's a distribution problem, right? And so teaching people, I think, how to grow their own food, because we do have land in this area, is really important. We'd love to be able to do more of that. And we'd love to partner, with other innovative ways to get food into the food system. So that's a great question.